Hello everyone, can you guys hear me? There he is. There I am. Oh yeah, ready to go. Let me just make sure everything is fine. Loud and clear. Everything is fine on the tech side. This is working fine. Sorry about that. Can you guys just tell me? I think everything should be in order now. Oh ho 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 ho. Sorry about that. It took a little bit of extra time, but I think we're finally ready to start. Okay. I hear a voice louder than usual ones in my head. That's me! Looks like bottom of Alymra's screen is still uncropped. It is a little bit. I assume they might still be working on it. I am sorry that I don't know that. Wugga's right side. Yeah. There are some. We might have to go with this for now, and I just hope someone's gonna actually fix it. But that is fine. Wugga's right on top. Yeah. I can see the black bar and the green ones on Alymra's side. But for now, that's gonna be that. I will count our runner down. Give me a second here, so we can at least get the race going. And here. Galore. Do you guys hear my fan? It's a little bit hot in here, so I wanted to have a fan around, but I know sometimes it's super annoying on sound. So if it is, just let me know, and I can turn it off just for a while. That's fine. Two Galore speakers here. Make sure our runners are ready. You don't? Perfect. No fan noise. Marvelous. Alright. So we can have a little bit of cold in this hot summer day. Right. This should be it. Oh, that's not it. Alright. Alright, and our runner will start very soon. There is some delay with speed gaming. That's normal, so I just counted down. It might take a second, but let me try to explain what we're going to do here today. That's going to be a very crazy thing. Notice the houses were in the same level as the bar. Azure Dreams is already a crazy game, but we wanted to add a layer. This tournament is going to be called Store Galore, and the idea behind it is going to be that our runners are going to have their pita fruit that they get from the beginning of the game. Your mom gives you that for your first adventure. Normally, that's the only thing you get. Then you get onto the bridge, you get CUNY onto your team, and then you try and tackle the tower. But for some weird reason, there is a limitation in the game. Not a weird reason, but there's a limitation in the game that prevents you from bringing more than 5 items into the tower. But here, it happens that the pita fruit sells for 5G, so we've put a random selection of new items that the players can use, can buy, and we've put all of them for 1 goal, which brings you 5 items into the tower maximum. Those 5 items all cost 1G. You bring 5, the ones you choose, and Alymra did not even buy all of their 5 items. Did they just choose not to? They are going to be buying something. Seraphim is here. Oldie Sword +2. My. Train 1. Although Train 1 might not be that good. And they can choose egg. There is always going to be 5 items. Like 5 like consumables. There's always going to be 5 equipments, which always include a weapon and a shield at least. And then a combination of both. And there's 5 eggs. Are they going to take good stuff, better stuff? We don't know. We have a Griffin on the Alymra side, which is CUNY Light. Very, very, very good pet. Also prevents enemies, pickets from stealing your stuff when they are on the field with you. Very good. Paralyzed one, so they are going to go with the Mixed Magic setup. Very, very good choice. My LC, very nice. and a CC to turn that Griffin water when the time comes. I absolutely agree with that. On Wugga's side, very different choices. We get a Holy Sword +2. Still took the Paralyzed one. Might go Mixed Magic, I assume. I don't think I saw exactly the pet they chose, but I think they chose a kid. Griffin over a kid? Maybe just for the picket thingy? I don't know. This is a good question. I also think kids is better, but I don't know. Yeah. Alymra with Griffin is a good combo, though. I agree, and the Paralyzed one is going to help that. And the difference between Kid and Griffin, if you are going to both use them as Mixed Magic user, is not that much of a difference, right? We see Wugga also unpacking their Napless. I assume there's going to be fusion shenanigans, because that kid is a tanky boy, but it can still die, especially early on. If you fuse it with a Napless, they are actually going to get double max HP as a result. So you'll still want to have that kid as the winner of the fusion, but having it used with double HP, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see. You can do that on first floor, so they went into the second floor, going to fuse those two bad boys, and we're going to get 24 HP kid at level 1. That is crazy. Sorry if it was said, just got here, but what is Store Galore? Yeah, I did explain, I'll explain it again. It is still the beginning of the run, you didn't miss much. It is a Azure Dream normal run, in parentheses. But, oh, and we get a death on Nico's on Alymra's side. That's crazy. Okay. Well, the bomb trap definitely put them in a bad situation. But that was a very, very harsh start. Interesting, though, is that they can still get into the tower again. Okay, let me, yeah, they can sell the Peter Fruit to start with, and then they can have a selection of items. Although that might be complicated here, but they need to go back to see Fur. Do they even remember where Fur is? Getting back into the house should bring them back into the store. This is a little change we made. But yeah, they still do get the PETA. They can still sell it. The store should be refreshed, and that should give them a chance. So you see, Wugga is not like super far. If there ever was a time to die early, that's definitely it. Are they going to change their selection? Seraphim Sword and a Kid Egg. Oh yeah, they are changing. Okay. He wasn't ready to spawn outside first upon leaving Ko's house ready. Yeah, exactly. This is a little change that we made, and I assume Alymra did not practice, like, if I die, how do I get back into the tower? You probably just run another seed when that happens. So that's normal. There's a little bit of a weird situation there. Alright. Syncing timers, that means probably that we're gonna get one of them to freeze for a second. Yeah, Alymra's until they are back equals again. Thank you very much, Mikens. Yeah, so the idea is that they have access to a few random selection of items to buy, which is made of 5 weapons and shields, 5 consumables, and 5 eggs. But every run is going to have a different selection, so they have the same one. Obviously, this is a race. We want them to be on equal terms. But yeah, they are not gonna, when we play another race, they're gonna have different items to choose from. But it's already interesting to see that they did not choose the same item, although now they have the same pet. Actually, now they have a very similar setup. But Alymra tried something completely different right from the get-go, and it didn't pay out in the end, but it could have. Griffin is a very good pet. Although I would agree that Kid is a little bit more interesting. But it's still a floor 1 to floor 4 situation, so it's not like Alymra is so far behind. If it had to happen, must have been right now. And we see a special situation too. This is the first floor. Like, there's a few layouts, like 6 of them, I think, if I recall correctly. If it is not your first time into the tower, and this is something, I don't know about Alymra, but this is something I never practice. Casually, you'll see them once in a while, but, yeah. There's what I wrote in Discord. I think Griffin was a misclick, and then the death was on purpose. Yeah. So they could restart. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense here. Because they wanted to just not lose, like, their main firepower or strategy that they went for. Yeah. And it was early enough for a restart, absolutely. So, Wugga's still in the lead here. They have a gajillion weapon. At this point in the game, the strategy here is that you can throw these weapons, chug them. They won't do damage for long, but first maybe 5 floors. This is a fine way to deal damage from a distance. It probably deals us similar damage to attacking right now, but from afar. And you see, he even brings one in their hand. Oh, there was a paralysis trap in there. We even see Ghosh. We never see Ghosh. Ghosh hype. Best character in the game, probably not. Technically, you would have sold Griffin Egg for 1G and buy a kit. You could have. Annapolis Fusion, though, absolutely. This is interesting to see. That kit is going to be absolutely unkillable. They already have very good defense. Maybe not the craziest HP, but it's not terrible either. But now that it's doubled, this kid is not... Ko is going down 7 times before this kid is, probably. Not gonna lie, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. There are a few things you can do here. You're never lucked into like a situation. If you make a mistake in the store, you can just sell the item back for 1 gold. We made sure everything was being sold for 1 gold. That is actually why you cannot get a pita fruit as a buy items, because then you could buy it for 1 and sell it for 5. And the first time you get into the tower, the limitation of only 5 items is actually not even enabled. It happens after your first climb, so yeah, we had to put some limitation. But the fact that pita naturally sell for 5 was a very fun thing. And then big pita fruit is an option in the store. So it's interesting the difference, even with one choosing to have the HUD. Oh yeah, absolutely. I still play with the HUD. Even worse, I play with the HUD in the middle at the top. Which which I don't think is considered a very good idea, because it does block like enemies coming from the direction you're actually most of the time walking on. It is absolutely optional if you're using stay display. That is correct, because you get all your information there. Although sometimes it's like weird to have to like look away from the screen and then back in. But you have moments to do that, like especially when you attack. With your weapon, the animations are kind of long in this game, especially with mixed magic, so you have a time to just glance at the thing. Yeah. Which I got decent to when I was playing a lot more of that game, like when the state display actually started to being a thing. But yeah, I like having information. This is like such an information AV game. Like, knowledge is definitely power, knowing when you can trade and when you can't trade. We have a confused go on the Alymra side. It's already over. Very good now. They can just one shot. 23 damage on a Cyclone. It's crazy. Like, mixed magic is very, very strong. Obviously, elemental advantage here helps a ton, but that is the thing. We are on the water floors on Wugga's side. You can see the grass on the ground will let you know that. These floors are known to be terrifying to any runners. The reason being, the first pet you'll start with is always Cuny. Cuny is a fire monster, although Cuny is extremely good as a pet. They are fire, and the water floors, as their name indicates, are mostly inhabited by water monsters. They are tanky, they hit hard, and Cuny is weak to it. Your mixed magic, flame sword, will obviously be resisted as well. These moments are extremely dangerous. Now, there are many ways to go through that. They have the option to get a C-Seed, which Alymra used. I don't think Wugga did, no. But the C-Seed can turn your monster into water. Obviously, for now, that would be great, but then when you hit the wind floors, being water is going to be a problem. It is a balancing hack for sure to try and always be on the upper end of the elemental triangle, but as any runners know, the weakest monsters in the games are mostly all wind elemental. They tend to trade power and tankiness for shenanigans, debuffs, being invisible, like a million weird things, but not raw power. Whereas the water monster tend to be tanky, the fire monster tend to be damage heavy. So as long as you are water, then you'll be able to tank those damage heavy monsters that are fire, and you'll be neutral with those tanky water monsters. Yeah, they'll be annoying because they'll be long to kill, not that much. And the wind monsters you can manage because, yeah, you're a elemental disadvantage, but they're just not that strong most of the time. Doesn't mean you want to get hit by a golem, but you catch what I mean. We have a full inventory on Wugga's side, and we have, like, 3 Hegs, which one of them is not the one they brought into the tower. Well, actually, 2 of them. Did they get 2? That's interesting. We have 2 Holy Scrolls, 2 Star Glasses, we have a Mahel Seed, Tuna Fruit. That's a crazy inventory. Now, it might be lacking a bit in terms of spell balls. They have the Fireball that you always get, so that's right. And he decides to use a Holy Scroll to get a U-boat to become his friend, and even use a medicinal herb here, although they had 2, so that's fine. That U-boat's going to be a great friend, but didn't even be used, so they're going to kill it just for the experience, and because it won't fight back, which is probably the only U-boats you want to fight. Once Palumpus fused Nappy into Kid. Yeah, but there's another one. That's interesting. Alright, and yeah, we get to see Wugga actually leave the water floors. I think it's going to be floor 10, isn't it? 8 on Alymra. Alymra is not that far behind. It's 9. There's only 1 floor difference. See, actually it ended up not being that bad at all for Alymra. If they pick up the pace, that can be very, very good. There is 1 level difference, 1 floor difference, so they're not in a bad position at all. So very exciting to see Alymra pick up the slack, making sure that they knew they were behind, but they fight back. That's good. That's cool. That's a match. Alright, Alymra's got 2 flame balls. That's very good. A lot of firepower here, especially because they lost the fireball that was only on the first climb, not on the succeeding one. They have a wind crystal too. That's interesting. I don't think they are going to use that, especially because they left the tower once. But if they wanted to, they could use money to buy every other item they never picked. We have a binding ball here. Very good find on the number side. Very, very nice. Would be cool to see if there was a mod to put additional GBC monster in the game. That'd be crazy. I know some people messed with the graphics, but Azure Dreams has a very cool graphical style that I absolutely adore, but it's a little bit weird. I know the sprite sheets are called into the game in a weird way. I don't remember exactly how, but I remember people looking into the code and being like, okay, if we were to change any kind of graphics, that would be quite an adventure. There's also a graphical side that I kind of like. It's pretty clear to me that they used like 3D assets and then they took like pictures of them and then used them as sprites. So it is a sprite, but you can see like the 3D-ness of them, and I don't think that's drawn. I'm pretty sure that's just like the jankiness in it makes you feel like this is a 3D asset that is like compressed into, which could be very interesting to be honest. But yeah, if there was a way to go through that, it would be crazy to get to code them into the game. I know there are also other problems with coding in this game. I remember being like limited by like not necessarily the hardware, but like the room in the hardware. Oh, we have a situation on Alymra, a letter shield coming through and actually making code dodge the hit. That's exactly what we want to see. That situation is going to be crazy. We will need some kind of usage of item to get out of that. If they change CUNY, yeah, that Holy Scroll is a very good choice. I said CUNY, but Kid, you don't want to change Kid because they're into water, because there was this wind monster behind us. And the letter shield coming through again, that's very, very good. The letter cartel is pleased. And we have a kill there. Okay, so very good. Now this should be out of the bad situation. The lowdown is always a pain, but it's not that bad. We have a letter shield that is cursed though, so more chances to miss on hits. On the Alymra's side. During that time is now on floor 11, which is where we get introduced to those pesky griffins, which we can see right now, and they have a chance to shoot and throw fire beams, and this is extremely dangerous. It's super hard. Yes, that kid is nigh indestructible, but that... Oh, okay. Oh, they're gonna take a hit here, okay. Wugga is not a risk-averse player at all, but that was even in my consideration a little bit scary. Although they probably could have taken a rise. But yeah, they're gonna need something to help that kid. And I don't think they have anything. Oh, wood shield works? Oh, that's crazy. I thought it was only metal, but I guess it's coded wrong. Although the shield only gave them 2. Yeah. Okay. And their MP is back exactly where we wanted it to be. Perfect. That kid is now back online. So Kid is a weird monster. They can actually eat almost anything, and they will regain MP from it. But more importantly, if it is metal, which is like even the coins on the grounds are considered metal, they will recover 50 MP. Or is it 100 MP? I think it's 100. Which is more than the maximum MP they have. And it is kind of important to remember that in Azure Dreams, MP is not just for magic. It's not just magic points. You spend MP to attack, you spend MP to do mixed magic, you even spend MP for being out on the field for, I think it's every 16 turns you lose 1 MP or your pet lose 1 MP. And if you reach 0 MP, it's not just that you can't cast spells, you can't even move anymore. Your pet is just completely disabled. Azure Dream at the high level is almost a stealth game, really emphasizes not taking every fight. Absolutely, Strasine Wave, that's completely right. You do get more benefit for not fighting, both because it's faster and because this game will whittle you down, even if you are very strong, like they are right now. Kid is a good pet, they have like wands to do big damage. At some point you're gonna get so weak, Ko is gonna become so weak that if you get hit, you will be one shot or in 2-shot range maximum. So yeah, you can fight, but at one point you need to one-shot or you lose. And item usage is extremely important in this game. Items are extremely strong, but they are consumable. So every time you use it, you lose an option later. And was that the play? Was that not the play? Paralyze this one doing great work on Wugga's side. Paralyze the troll, paralyze the Garuda. That's what they want to see for sure. They did start with Kid, but they exactly like Gattergal said. They had to choose. It is a Store Galore tournament. This tournament opens up a shop in town where you can buy 5 items. That's just starting 5 items. There are 15 to choose from. These are randomly generated. There are some rules to determine what can be in the shop. Like there's always going to be 5 consumables, 5 weapon and armor, 5 eggs. You can choose 5 of the 15. There is also a rarity thing that is irrelevant to understand, but know that the runner knows that there are always going to be 2 more desirable items out of the pool. Some of them are not the greatest, but they're always relevant in the speedrun sense. But yeah, obviously some of them are more desirable than others. Floor 13 on Alymra side, 16 on Wugga, although he's in the elevator room. This is a very, very good run so far, considering Alymra took a very early death. And yes, the death, as I understand, was, oh, that kid is in a bad situation. And so Alymra, pick up strat, let's go. But having a griffin on your back, oh yeah, that's very, very bad. That kid is gone, and now Alymra is alone. Although they can pick the, oh, that was very good. Okay, let's go. Picking up monster is statistically in your advantage. It's a 5 out of 8 chance to do it, so 62.5% chance. But it is so scary because if you miss, look, they took more than half their health and damage. They're gonna go for the paralysis, which will ensure to pick up at 100% when they are asleep or paralyzed. Throw them away, but now they are running what we call Commando, which is without a pet, right? The main character is called Ko, so Commando, yeah, okay. That makes you faster. That is very, very fun to see a runner go Commando, but, and the problem is very clear here, yeah, you might be faster because you're not gonna fight at all, but you are gonna probably die, or everything is so much more dangerous because they had the firepower to strike back. I said Ko is squishy, but at least with a friendly pet, you can deal the damage. So if you only have to take a hit, kill them in 2, you get to win the fight, and then you can move on. If they get into a pincer attack now, every item is gonna count. And I can't wait to see how Alymra is gonna go through that. See, on Wugga's side, we see Pickets, that green, fat little boy. They are adorable, but they also steal your stuff. If they get into melee with Ko, they will try to steal your inventory. And one good strategy is to have a fire pet, like the kid here, and let the pet take care of it. If they never reach Ko in melee, they can never steal your stuff, so that's very, very nice. But Alymra does not have that option anymore. We even see an egg bomb here. Was a clown, would have been great to have that pet. But no, not this time. Although the Kraken is dead, that's always a good thing. We see a binding ball again. That inventory is dwindling fast. And Alymra is going to have some problem going forward for sure. But for now, they do what they can with what they have. And that's moving one floor at a time. That's the only way you can do this in Azure Dreams. Their pickup luck is on their side though. Let's go. Okay, turn monsters around if you chuck a monster at another one in certain circumstances, not always. but in certain circumstances, you can make actually them both go away from you instead of coming towards, which is a very good thing. Using eye elevation to take less damage, to risk a pickup, very good strategy, showing the knowledge of the game. I'm just happy to see Azure Dream Tournament again. Yes, absolutely. It's so much fun to do. This is a smaller tournament. We have 4 players that are going to duke it out. 2 matches today. So after this one, we have another one, which is going to be Chai versus Septic Tank. And the winner of this match and the next match are going to duke it out in a finals tomorrow, which is going to be a best of 3. That's going to be different. So that's going to be very interesting as well. But for now, we see Alymra heating up the egg and trying to see what's in there. They had a Truth Glass, decided not to use it, so we are going to be surprised as much as they are. The percentages going up is from 1 to 4%. Increase 25% for each numbers, and that can take some time. Volcano is terrible. That is not a good pet at all. It is tanky-ish, which is not what you want for your pet. You want your pet to deal high damage. Its ability poops a rock, which can be useful, but it's not great. There is a spell ball that does an equivalent thing called the Ice Rock Ball, and even though Ice Rock is good, it is also slow and tends to not be favored by speedrunners for that specific reason. Although tournaments may be speedruns, and they are also a survival mode, and survival is more important than speed in that specific context, so they might still want to use it. The game is super fun. I'm assuming IQNI or Balloon is not one of the starting monsters. Balloon could be. IQNI cannot. We would have let it be a thing, although when you use it as an egg, it bugs out the game sometimes. Like if you don't get the egg from normal means, it seems to cause a lot of trouble. If IQD would not have been a buggy situation, we would have put it in the pool of options. But like I said, this is a pool of 5 eggs chosen from all the eggs, so you would not see them all the time. But yeah, that would have been very interesting. Restore Scroll on Emerald's side. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for pointing this out. We are getting Kid back. And Kid might be a little bit behind in terms of experience, but that's not super important because... Oh, and I would get that Kid out right now, my friend. That's exactly when you want to have that Kid around, when those pickets are around. But the spell they are using is called Flame Sword. It's a mixed magic of an attack and your fire spell. And the mixed magic damage calculation is super weird. It gets like 95% of its total power from the first 10 levels. So I don't know what to say. Like if the damage was to be 100 at level 99, it would be like 95 at level 10. So those 89 extra levels you can grind to make Flame Sword stronger are almost completely irrelevant. So that's one of the reasons why Flame Sword is so good. It peaks early, and we're not gonna grind in an Azure Dream speedrun. So getting all that power super early is very fun. So as soon as that picket, actually I think the highest, like the greatest peak before starting to dwindle. Oh, we have a Maniva! I think it's level 12 on that Kid. So we definitely want to see Kid reach 12, but then 13 is not going to make Kid much stronger. As long as they're using the mixed magic thingy. Well, is alive for now. Pickets are perfect to level up Kid. They are. They are worth a ton of experience, and they're not that hard to fight, especially if you use a fire monster to block. Okay, we get a spell ball back. Okay, Picket didn't steal the items. We get a flame ball. Yeah, flame ball was really important here. And how much? 7! Okay, that's the highest numbers you could get there. Very important here. Alymra is very squishy right now. Their shields is worth 0 defense, although they're using it for dodge chance, not damage. But, not defense, sorry. But yeah, that's going to be very dangerous situation starting now. When you pick it, it's you for 3. This should hit you for 1. Like, they're super weak. When a picket hits you twice for 3, because they do 2 turns in a row, that's scary. We have a blind situation on Wugga's side. I think he's fighting a unicorn. It's not a trap, is it? Oh, 23 damage, and we don't even see where the unicorn is. Okay, very good. That must have been very scary. Although he could still take another hit after that. Blocks can be scary. They can paralyze you. We have a lot of monsters the highlight of this game is 1000% the monsters. They are so cool. They hit hard, they tank, they have abilities. I don't think I've seen a game quite like Azure Dreams. They are introduced extremely fast. Like if you play this game casually, the monsters are going to become stronger faster than you can grind. And let me know, there is rubber bending in this game in terms of experience. Like if you cannot just grind early floors and get good XP. It's actually much faster to get to the next floor, because sometimes just getting up 1 or 2 floors will double the amount of experience you get from monsters. This game is a variety of monster, and every single one of them is terrible. I'm dreaming. Yeah, say that to people that get put to sleep. I don't like Glacier or Maximum as enemy. Yeah, Maximum big ball stats. They just hit hard. They tank everything. They are crazy. And Glaciers are actually a little bit the opposite. They are tankish, but they're not dealing that much damage compared to other enemies. But they can kick a Glacier, Ice Rock, and it slides over on the ground. And if it hits you, you're gonna slide with it until you hit a wall. And that can be freaking far. Although speedrunners sometimes use it to move, that can still be a very stressful situation. I saw so many games trying to capture the feeling of Azure Dreams. So many come close, but are still so far. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I can't explain to you why. Like, it's a pacing thing, because I've played what's it called? The game it's inspired from. There's Sheeran the Wanderer. Sorry, took me a second here. Sheeran the Wanderer was the inspiration. Oh, Sleep Trap on Alymra side. He gets whacked by the doggo. He falls asleep again, and he's out for the count on floor 19. If you look on Alymra's side, you can see now 0F because he's in town. Max 19F in parentheses down in the blue block section. This means that this is their score. Max 19 is what we're looking for. So right now you could already say that they kind of lose because they are not higher than the max 24 on Wugga's side. But they need to come back, actually. They need to beat that floor 19, because right now that would not be enough. We are limited by time, though, and that's going to be stressful because we have maximum an hour to play this match, and this match has been going for 28 minutes. Can they beat it? Yes, but there's another factor. Wugga's not dead yet, although the situation on their side is kind of a little bit scary. But yeah, if they can get out of that, they will probably accrue more floor, and that's what we're looking for. They do need Wugga to die, absolutely. But that could be happening. We have a rough situation, but right now Wugga's inventory is pretty good, but it will be dwindling like any inventory does. Did the Viper just eat an egg? Yes, they do. Actually, the way Wugga was using the egg was to lure the enemy to... because when they see an egg in the same room as they are, they will completely stop everything they're doing and will go for the egg and eat it. But you can juke them by putting the egg down 2 tiles away from them. They'll move once, your pet will deal damage. You pick the egg up and put it 2 tiles away in another direction. And now it will have to... Yeah, hey, look at distraction. Exactly. This is super fun, egg juking the Vipers. It's a very valid strategy. It's a reason to have eggs on the early 20th floor that we call Viper Towns. And Viper Town, and this is, yeah, a very, very fun strategy. We see Wugga's pet being attacked by nothing, and the pet attacking nothing. This is called the stealth. This monster is a little weak, but the fact that you cannot see them is a problem. You cannot walk in with low health in this on those floors, and you can see that Wugga is using like a dash action, like a super fast dash action. We call Demon Speed. When an enemy is on the same like vicinity as you, you cannot dash. So if they suddenly stop dashing, they will know that a stealth is somewhere on screen. That is not a be-all end-all thingy. That is a stealth when it's not invisible. That's those buggers. Yeah, see, you saw them turn invisible here. They are annoying as hell, but they are not very strong in exchange. But not very strong does not mean not strong. It's just compared to like the power of like artillery, it is instead like just a bunch of gunners. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, scroll strong enemy make them friendly for that floor. It does. The beam of light that stays there also makes go invincible if you get in it, and monster cannot cross into it. Yeah, it only ends for the last for the floor, so we call it make a friend. It's not just like a pet that will follow you around, but yeah, we saw that happen on Alymra's side right now. That balloon is not their pet, but they have holy scrolled them and make them friends. The description of holy scroll is that it makes you invincible, and when you use it, you'll see the beam appear under Cole's feet, and that's the intended way to use it. But there's a lot of love and details put into everything in Azure Dreams, and that includes the item. And I absolutely adore how you can use that to like explore and find crazy way to use the items. That's one of the things that was the most fun when we started this community. Was there's a lot of items that are junk in parentheses, and it was trying to, because you don't choose what items you're gonna get, right? This is not like a normal RPG, it's a roguelike, so you might still get those garbage items, and it was super fun to like share idea and theories with other players concerning, okay, this item is garbage, but is there a thing we can do with it? And finding like a fringe case situation, sure, but at least it's a situation where every item could be useful. We're still missing a few, like there are still dead pickups, but most of the items we found like a thing that's kind of clever with it. Not colored, so not commandable, but they still act on familiar AI4. Yeah, exactly. AI4 is the normal, like, follow go around, and when there's an enemy, run to it and fight. Which is generally never used by speedrunners. We have mastered the AI1 and 3 switch combo, I guess we can call it. Which we generally call AI1 manipulation. But AI4 is probably what you used as a kid if you wanted your pet to fight. Although the game puts you on AI3 at first, like they really want you to know that the mixed magic is a thing. The moment you use it for the first time is kind of cool too, especially if you played on Japanese, because there is some voiceover where QD voice actress says just like, Flame Sordo! And it's kind of super cute, to be honest, and it kind of feels like, oh, okay, that's dope. But other than that, if you wanted to fight like melee, like a fighter pet, AI4 would probably have been what you used. AI5 was a little bit too crazy. It was just like, do not care for your MP use spells and attack, and that was just drain your pet's MP maybe in one floor. So you'd never wanted to see that. We are in a situation, Wugga is like between two rooms, stuck between sleeping Naplaces. Yeah, using the star glasses here seems like a good idea. Naplaces will randomly fall asleep for fun, and they can wake up and attack you in the same turn, and that's gonna happen here. Okay, not that bad. The pet took some damage, but it's not as if that kid had 116 HP. All right, and he gets an exit loop as a reward for using the star glasses. That's crazy. They really want to leave that floor, because when you're in a pincer situation, but both of the pincer monsters are walking in the same direction, sometimes you want to walk like in between those two lines and like not aggro anything. But with Naplaces it doesn't work, because they'll randomly fall asleep, and now you'll need to walk towards the sleeping one, but the other one is still following you around, and those situations are scary. Naplaces also have a ton of HP, that's a spiel. Oh, Wugga gets the random AI2, AI1 manipulation. This one's a little bit different. It can happen infinitely. The pet attacks when Naplaces walks close to them, but then walks away before it does, and they're manipulating turn order to never let the Naplaz fight. I know it's not random, but I mean, yeah, turn manip, so very cool. Alright, make sure that his pet is full of MP. It's a very, very interesting run so far on Wugga's side. He's been deploying all the tricks to actually reach this far. Alymra is also trying to fight back. That Seraphim Sword is doing quick work of those early monster. Don't even need to have a pet there, so that's pretty good. Naplus falls asleep when he wakes up. He is at the top of the list. Yeah, it's true. So once you know he's at the top of the list, you can do those shenanigans. He's cracked, he knows the strats. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, 2 killers, but one of them is asleep, so that's great, because that other one is going to fight for you for a sec. Killers is probably one of my favorite monsters. I mean, their ends are axes. There are some under the hood shenanigans that makes them extremely strong. Like the weakest level 1 monster probably has around about 3-4 attack power, And the strongest one must have like 8 or 9. Like the difference is not that big, right? Well, it's double. It's not nothing, but and killers have a +8 attack because their hands are axes. And Alymra took another death. Oh, I think this is gonna be spelling a very hard situation for Alymra here. This is terrible. Can they make it back? Like, if they wanted to, they could try, and I think that they will. They are that determined, but now they need to probably go to the shop and pick up stuff. Yes, but they will need to book it. You only have 24 minutes to fight Wugga, to beat Wugga, which is already on 31st floor, where we get some lore exposition. If you want to get some lore here, Beldo is bad, and reach floor 40. Good. All right. Lore is over. Thank you very much. This game is not very lore-oriented. There is a story, if you can call it that, and it's mostly a joke about... Wugga took a crit here! 61 damage from that Tyrant. Very lucky it was a Tyrant, though. They are not that strong, but man, anything else would probably have killed him, especially a killer. Can I have 2 world record at this point? Oh, that's correct. Unless Wugga dies right now, although it almost happened. But yeah, those star glasses are going to be very, very good here. And he gets a slam trap! It's not that bad, but it delays the healing, and there's a killer in front of them. That might be scary. Blinder ball, probably the best ball in the game. Makes enemy blind, so they walk in a straight line. You can now know their thing. The only weakness of the spell ball is if you use it in melee, the enemy will not be able to walk on your tile and win attack instead, so you still get hit. So don't use that in melee. But other than that, yeah, once it's used, just juke around the enemies and ignore them. It was also, I think, a 7? Yeah, it was a 7 charge blinder ball, which is probably... Like, I know Wugga's a lover of the blinder ball. So, yeah, that 7 charges is absolutely going to be great here. Kanatu, it would have been so funny if he didn't heal and died to the slam trap. Ah, damn, that must have been terrible. I missed the death. Second floor, we see Ghosh again. Ghosh, let's go. Such a man. Yeah, Ghosh hype all the time. He is I was gonna say my boy. He's a boy, I think, probably. Tuna fruit thrown on that dragon. Wugga knows not to fight with dragons, but when there are frogs, you know, it's fine. They are... Oh, dragons get to evolve. Kid is now not a kid anymore, is a dragon. Big boy, that thing is now nigh indestructible. It gets just more of everything, and that's just never dying. Obviously, it could happen, but even not. And then it would win against a glacier with a limited disadvantage at that point. It's just that crazy. Sleeping dragons are scary. The other thing that's scary, oh, go up trap. Lucky Wugga here. He's probably very happy because he saw the dragon wake up, but now he doesn't have to care about it. We have a neg ear. Pickup fails, takes... Ooh, that was a lot of damage. Come on, dragon. Don't spit before you punch. It's just longer. Recovery ball use. You don't see that every day, but some healing here. I mean, that dragon is not going down. That's just not happening. Alright. Dragons can randomly just spit before they attack. I don't know why or how it works or the percentages chances for that to happen. It just takes longer, so it's like just not good. But I wonder how it works. Like, why do they do that? Why did they program that animation? And why is it random when they use it or not? Glacier shot. Not even. Oh yeah, okay, let's go and get the hell out of here. He probably knew that was a possibility and the damage would not kill them. The glacier shot is not that strong. But you don't want to get into that floor with low health. This is scary as hell. We're talking about floor 35. The floor 35 is not a joke. And although they're lucky to get Cure-All. Okay, Cure-All is good. And the elevator. Absolutely get out of there. And we get to the final few floors on Wugga's side. Can they clear it? They start at the bottom left. They didn't see much of the map. When you get to a new floor, the camera rotates from top left to your position. if you are at the bottom right, for example, the camera will pan for longer because they need to reach further away, I guess. And that lets you see stuff. Good runners will try to analyze the most information they can from that quick animation. And sometimes they'll see the elevator, which would prevent them from using items like exit loop or star glasses that gives you that information. Unicorn will... Oh no, Unicorn uses low blind! When you throw an egg bomb, there is a low chance, or actually a chance, that the enemy will just use anything it can do, which 99% of the time is just a normal attack, which is what you want to see. But they can use their skills too, and Unicorn skills not only won't kill, but failed, and they fail all the time. It's not really good. But yeah, that is not what you wanted to see, but I guess it doesn't matter. Wugga has a decent inventory here, so... Although this room, okay. Mahel Seed, I agree 1000% with that thing. That dragon gets hit pretty hard. Luckily, if the Naples hadn't been fused on floor 1, that dragon was dead. That's how important those early decision becomes. We get a kill here. They're probably going to do the same for the other one. Okay, let it sleep. Let's go, let's go. And we have a glacier here. That's not what you want to see, but yep, using some juking shenanigans. We know that when enemies are not aggro, we know how they move. So Wugga knew that the pet would go around in that big circle. It had to, as long as they're not aggro to you. And in corridors and rooms, aggro works differently. I saw the elevator, I'm sure Wugga did. Yep, there we go. We get to floor 39, that's our last floor. Can Wugga do it? And even if he cannot, can Alymra catch up? Elevator in room? A little bit of a situation because there's a golem, but I don't think that's really scary. Wugga absolutely making sure this is a thing happening. He's gonna just walk around. What are we doing here? Recovery, making sure the dragon doesn't go down. Although it's very high health for fighting. It is still 35. Oh my god. This is how crazy a golem is. Because dragon has elemental advantage here. It's not winning. Can he do it? Yeah, he's right there. Lol. Yeah, he is right there, but he's not doing it. Okay, let's go. Dragon winning the fight. Hit those tiles, please. Thank you very much. And we have an elevator. Win on Wugga's side. So very good match. That was madness. Madness, guys. I love that match. So well played by Alymra 2 that tried to, well, win 3 times, and he was still going 4 times? 3 times. 3 times. 4 times. Still trying. Floor 9 already. That's not bad at all. Very well played on both our guys here. Wow, that was a match. Okay. Alright. Perfect. Alright, we are going to go and set up match number 2. That might take a second. I hope you guys are ready for this, but we are going to go on a little bit of a break until we get set up everything else. But thank you very much for being here. I absolutely adore you for doing so. And there is more Azure Dream coming up. Stay tuned. Still hear me? Is everything working for our second match of today? We're gonna have Septic Tank versus Chai duking it out. Just let me know that everything is in order here. The night asking can hear me, lol. I'll turn that as a yes. Okay. Loud and clear. That's what I like to hear. We're gonna have our match going soon. I did count them down, but like I said in the earlier match, this is gonna have a little bit of a delay. Our runners are gonna be ready for Store Galore. Store Galore is our new concept for tournament. They will go back into the house. But, or actually the building behind them, which is actually the store, and they're gonna use it. The store normally only sells furniture and stuff like that, but right now we have modified it. They will sell the Peter Fruit to start with that your mom gives you during the intro of the game. It is worth 5 money. They are gonna use that money to buy 5 items out of a list of 15. They're all going to be worth 1 money. They're going to look at what they get. Blizzard Sword +1 is picked. Exit Loop, Stream Wand, Ice Shield +1, very good. We see a kid again being picked on one side but not on the other. Septic Tank is going with what? Univern? That is crazy. Kid plus Ashra, and it was not picked up. Septic picked Univern. I understand, the stats on that Univern is going to be good. Don't get me wrong here. But that's not a kid, and that's not an Ashra. We see Kid and Ashra being both picked up by Chai. Ice Shield +1, 1000% agree. This is a very good shield early on, and it can be juggled later on. You know it's not cursed, it's also even +1. Stream 1 is going to be absolutely crazy here. We have a setup, guys. If we can... Oh, he will fuse Kid and Ashra to get a Fire Kid. A Water Kid. Oh, that is so good. Such a good strategy here. I absolutely adore Chai's strategy. We have Scorch and Ice Shield on Septic Tank side, which I do adore as well. The reasoning behind it is that Dose Elemental Shield makes Co-Elemental himself, so he will now be part of the Elemental Triangle when he gets hit. But if you have 2 of them, and switching shield do not take your turn, that's the crazy part. So switching shield mid-combat, or to adapt to whatever you're going to take as hits, is very nice because you will always be either neutral or good at the defense you need to have. So right now, very happy with Septic's side of the thing. But the Univern choice is really weird. We have to agree here. I hope it pays out. I mean, Septic is world record holder for any percent. The biggest category in this game right now. He knows what he's doing. I don't, but he does. Welcome back, everyone, for match number 2. This is going to be fun. I did power up my fan, so if you guys hear it, let me know. I will stop it, but right now it is a hot day in Canada. So if I can use it for a while, I absolutely will. Other than that, we have some shenanigans happening. Chai is probably going to take out their second set on floor 2 and fuse them together to use that Stream Wand he picked up from the store. That seems like a very, very nice choice. This is what I adore from Store Galore as a concept. We used a thing called another format called Random Toolkit earlier, where every players would get a random set of 5 items, but obviously the same ones for fairness. It was fun because you get to see them play with like toys you don't always get to see, especially early on. Like form a strategy around it instead of like sometimes you find a good pet, but it's too late in the run to use it, right? But they had the same 5 items. With Store Galore, you get to pick 5 out of 15. So now decision making is interesting because they will not necessarily have the same 5 items, although they might, but in that specific situation. Chai versus Septic Tank, completely different situation. A sword on one side, a Stream Wand on another. 2 very different pets, let's be honest here. Yeah, that's going to be a very, very interesting situation. I am not sure we will get to see Kid and Ashra fuse together, because there is no reason not to do it now. There is no dangerous wind monsters before a while. Maybe Cyclones, you could argue, but I wouldn't. Not Clown either. So I think a Earth Shield? Okay. This is so scary, because if that Earth Shield is cursed on Septic side, that's very, very, very bad. But if it's not, my friend, you could get the Holy Trinity. And the way defense work in this game is that defense sucks. You are not scaling your defense faster than the enemy is going to scale their attack. Shields are almost completely irrelevant until you put like you can put like +1, +2, and up to +99. Obviously at +99 every shield is really good, but in a normal, casual, or speedrun setup, that's just not happening until you grind for so long, right? But those shields remove gives you a percentage reduction in damage. So that is extremely strong, because when monster hits you for 80, removing like 30%, or I don't know how much it is, but like a ton of damage is going to be much more worth than the best shield, which is Diamond Shield for 7 defense. Which 7 defense mean reduced damage by 3.5. It's half the defense value of the shield. So if the best shield reduced damage by 3.5, when you get it for 80, you just instead take like 76.5, and that's still too much. Removing like 30% is huge, right? He forgot to fuse. Maybe Honestly, I feel like that would be to play 100% of the time, especially with a Stream 1, right? Because wands increase magic power by a ton, I think it's 50%, and it will get an extra 50% increase if the wand's element matches the element of the spell, which turning your dragon into water would change Flame Sword for Blizzard Sword, and you would get that extra 50% damage on top of what he's already getting. This is a strategy used by any percent for such a long time, although right now, I guess the run is now more volatile. You don't really fight if you can avoid it. You just reset instead or use items, I guess. But way back in the day, when you tried to kill stuff, you would definitely use CUNY with a Scarlet one, which is the equivalent but fire to the Stream one. The damage increase is so good, any casual player will probably try to grind a gold sword to like plus 40 to win the game, or something like that, but I'll tell you now, the strategy, and it's much less grind, Scarlet 1 CUNY will bring you anywhere. It's just that good. We get to see the AoE magic. I know Septic Tank is a huge fan of the AoE magic called Earthshaker in that specific case. The low blind spell the Univern gets is going to turn into an AoE attack that hits the whole room you're in. Doesn't matter the size of the room. Letter Shield, go back for that, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm so... Although, he's got the Trinity. If that shield is cursed, and it's not. Let's go. Okay. Woo, that was scary. Oh, he did not equip it. Okay. I thought he did. He just put it in his inventory. Earthshaker here is going to do huge damage. Double kill. Let's move on. What are they going to do here? Trap Stroll. Okay, just inventory management. During that time, Chai is having a situation with a bunch of Manivas. That Cyclone's gone. Going very well. Like, that Univern is definitely going to shine now. We are in the water floors on Septic side, and that Univern is going to deal, well, wind damage and AoE against a bunch of tanky water monsters. Probably going to one-shot them. The weakness of Earthshaker, and any AoE magic for that matter, is that it does cost a lot of MP. It is 4 MP a pop, if I remember, for casting Earthshaker, which is huge, considering Chai is using Flame Sword, which use 0.75 of 1 MP. You can cram a lot of those in one Earthshaker. Although obviously, when you hit more than one monster, Earthshaker is king. Yep, he's gonna just grind them into the room and then bring them and then whack him. Earthshaker in that specific situation was pretty good, but it is not a reliable as Flame Sword is. When you are stuck in a situation where there's only one enemy, are you going to use Earthshaker? That would win you the fight, but then that's for MP for 1 kill, whereas Flame Sword or Wind Cutter, which would be the wind equivalent, would do that too and cost you 6 times less, right? Have to pick up Azek Seed somewhere. If Chai finds that, he'll be happy. Yeah, absolutely. So, Azak Herb is a restorative item that recovers lost attack power. So some effects, like the acid from Vipers, will lower your strength. But the reason why it's so good is that the Ashray's got in his inventory, the other pet that he hasn't used yet. They make your attack power potentially double. And what I mean by potentially is that, very good, is that every time you gain a level, you're going to gain more attack power, and you're going to get double that amount as max attack power. So if you gain 2 attack power, you're going to get 2 out of 4. And to get access to that 4 that you really want, like the doubled version of your attack, you're going to need to use an attacker to heal that. But that only heals it at the moment, so if you do that on level 10, then on level 11, you're still going to be, like, not at the max as you could be. So finding a few ways to heal that status once in a while, and there are a few ways to do that, Water Crystal, Azak Herb, and Cure All Herbs will all do it, is fantastic, because that pet does not exactly come online until that situation is cured. That's a room and a half. That must have been very easy for Septic, but on Chai's side, they'll need to think for a little second. Although floor 10 on Septic's side is already pushing over, and but they get into a territory that's scarier. These are the fire floors. He has a wind elemental pet, which also has non-reliable magic. So I think we're going to see Septic avoid combat. This is also a place I really like. Floor 10 does not have any scary enemies, and the XP here is very good compared to floor 8 and 9. So generally that's the moment for me to like grind up a bit, and I know Septic is not much of a grinder, and E% does not require much grind anymore or at all if you can avoid it, to be honest. But in a tournament setting, that's a place where I like to get some experience behind my belt. Experience is so good and battles are so easy, you definitely want to get like some fight in, but I don't think that's going to happen on Septic's side. And I don't think he cares, but I would. Floor 7 is being mean onto Chai's side, but he's doing great to make sure he doesn't get into a fight. But that monster train, okay, no monster train now. Floor 11 on Septic's side, this is going to happen. Let's go. Floor 11, if we remember correctly, that is the floor where we're going to get to see those pesky griffins that snipes you from afar with pillars of fire. And it's that Univern. This Univern is gone. Oh, there's two of them asleep. Okay, he looks at the two scrolls and he's interested, but now he's not anymore. That ice shield is gonna go a long way to actually make sure everything is fine. But okay, he de-aggro. I like that. Yeah, he doesn't like this situation at all. Now a volcano's been involved, but the pickup here is very important. That volcano he will be able to deal with. Just pick it up. The damage is going to be low. 8 damage. Yeah, he doesn't care. The ice shield is doing great here. Great work. Malicious scroll is okay. Decurse is very good. Now, yes, exactly. Check the earth. Check the leather. Doesn't check the leather. Okay. And then you don't even need to pick up the thing. Leather shield. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, he's got the 4 best freaking shield in the game. 1 for each elemental defense and 1 for dodge chance. This is madness. It takes a lot of space in his inventory. And it's gonna be slower than just running away. But this is the dream. This is the dream, guys. Ice, earth, leather, and scorch. Yeah, okay, he's got them all. That's crazy. I adore that situation. And you don't get to see that often. Twitch chat, that's something. These are rare shields, to be honest. Alright. He doesn't even wear the sword anymore, so that's gonna be a thing. That shows you he doesn't even intend to fight. He's got... Oh, he had the sword, he threw it away. Yeah, there we go. If he's gonna attack, he's gonna use the Earthshaker, and you can do that with a punch, so it's fine. Alright, use an exit loop to do some inventory management. I really like that. This is not a fun floor by any stretch of the imagination, but he looked at his inventory and saw that it was like kind of meh, like in terms of space, like no more room. And that's Kraken floor, so obviously you want to get out of there as quickly as you can. But this Kraken has something to say about it. What are we gonna see? Earth Shield, very good. And Earthshaker, okay, not even wanted to use a resource here. 13 damage, that's really not that bad. And Earthshaker is a kill. That's very greedy as a play, but I adore it. HP is a resource in this game. You regenerate HP pretty fast. Maybe not enough when you really want it, but to be honest, it's like, it depends on your max HP, but at the end, it's like 1 HP almost every step that you get back. So that's crazy. You definitely are not too scared about that situation. During that time, floor 9 on on Chai's side, sorry, I saw Rel's as a name. On Chai's side, he seems to be having a bit of a tougher time. I mean, Chai is definitely more of a thinker. He's also very fast, don't get me wrong, but he's a thinker. Septic is just dashing through stuff. Death is a room. He would take a hit if he was to do this, but he will. Ice Shield's gonna help. Very well played room. Even though he had AoE magic, there was 2 fire monsters in there. Absolutely fantastic play from Septic Tank. Good job. Good job. Alright, what do we get on Chai's side? Masterful play. Yeah, I agree. Just took a little bit of a time to think, but oh, go up trap. You want to get that. We also have a water crystal on Chai's side, so, and the exact herb. So I don't know why Azure is not part of the process yet. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll need to ask them after the match. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, maybe he heard me. But yeah, definitely now. Although he's on floor 10, maybe that was the threshold he was thinking about, like making sure that he would reach floor 10 first, because those are the fire floors. The other thing is that it's important to note here, normally spells that are not in their innate element, so breath is a fire spell, so generally it would only level up if the pet is fire. We have a modification on every tournament, including this one, that makes it so it's not true anymore. That spell will level up even though the pet is not fire and it is water. So there's not even a downside to use Water Kid right now. There would be in a normal playthrough. Although, like I said before, Flame Sword, which is now Blizzard Sword, pretty much kept its damage at level 12. So you can easily reach level 12 and then change it into water, and then you don't really lose on anything. Even level 10 is very okay. I think it's like a 5% increase damage from 10 to 12. Which is, you know, not bad. Rust Trap, okay, doesn't matter. Acid Rain Ball, we saw that on Septic Tank. Speaking of, he's getting on floor 18. That is quite a lead. I mean, I know Septic is fast, don't get me wrong, but that is a very decent pace. Trap loot being used during the, okay, he thought about looking the crystal but decided not to. I respect that. These are picket floors he's on, and that is scary. He is thinking about looking at the fruit. Never punish, let's go. Oh yeah, always punish. Garbage fruit. Holy Scroll though, okay, that was really worth it. Really worth. Floor 19, that is the last floor with picket, excluding the rare picket you can see on floor 25. It is a 1/16th chance to spawn a picket on floor 25, so that's really rare, but in terms of like having them everywhere, that's the last floor. Ooh, that's scary. That Earthshaker will not hit the one at the bottom because Ko is not in the room. He's looking at his MP. He needs to do it, but that's a lot of MP just to kill one spider, and then the other one's gonna come in melee, and then it'll be a rougher situation. What are they gonna do here? Because that other monster called Wee Dog is fire, and that's gonna put their pet into a really bad situation. Acid Rain? Well played. Well played. I like that. I like the play. It's a big resource being spent, but to be honest, you didn't want to lose your Universe. It's their only pet, so if that goes away, you go Commando, and Commando is scary. Although, if there ever was a player that I would consider very good at Commando, Septic is definitely one of the top. Right, during that time, Chai having their pet deal all of the damages. Very well, too, because considering there's 48 attacks on that freaking dragon. Just to give you an idea, that kid is level 9. Wugga had a kid last match, I think it ended with like 48 attacks. So, and that was a level 22 dragon, so 22 dragon and 9, and they have the same attack power. That thing wrecks. And he still got one way to actually fix the damage problem, like the attack not following it up. See, now their attack is 50 out of 52. That Water Crystal can fix that, but that's going to be like increasingly separated from the lower number. Holy Scroll low. Oh yeah! The Holy Scroll preventing the Univern from coming. And normally Univern can be picked up, but it can't here. And the reason behind it being Univern cannot be picked up, but if it evolves from a unicorn, which it normally does, the pickability of a monster does not update when they evolve. It should, but it do not. So dragon on the other side cannot be picked up, but because it will evolve from a kid, it will still be pick-upable. But Septic did not start with a unicorn. He started with an already evolved Univern, which is something we don't see all the time. In the normal game, it's just impossible to have a Univern without going through a unicorn first, right? So that's a really interesting, sorry. A really interesting situation you don't get to see in their normal game at all, but this is information you need to know if you're gonna play this. I assume Septic knew the situation just ended up being bad, but you can get your pet through a Holy Scroll by picking them from one side and dropping them on the other. They cannot normally walk through it though, and that was the situation here. Oh, such a bad situation. Ward trap when you're alone, not as devastating. Lets you explore faster actually if you get into a new room. Fireball being used on Chai's side, really well played. That's another reason why water pets are so good. I love pets of the water elements. Not only did I say earlier that they are going to be only weak to wind monster, which you don't really care that much about because they're not that tanky or strong to generally do shenanigans. Moreover, all the damaging spell balls, fire, pillars, flame, they are all fire damage, obviously. And that's going to mean that it's always going to deal super effective damage against wind monsters. So, not only is your water pet going to be able to deal with any fire and water monster without any problem, it also means that the only monster you're weak to that could potentially get you in trouble, if you have any spell balls that deals damage, you're going to deal super effective damage to them. And the spell ball used by Ko are crazy strong. So, the way the game calculates how strong it is, and I know this is weird, but this is kind of crazy. Right now, this kid is level 11 on Chai's side, and they have a Neo Breath level 11, right? The spells follows the level of the monster. The best caster in the game is the Clown, which will get that double, so that would be 22 instead of 11. When Ko uses a spell ball, he uses the spell at quadruple his own level. That's crazy. That is just crazy. Speaking of crazy, this room, he's taking time to kill them one by one. That's the power of an Arachne here. The Garuda is not even going to be able to do anything here, but he doesn't want to be hit for no reason. Yeah, he's going to take the hit from the... Oh, that's scary. Okay, yep, that's not a situation he wanted to get into. I guess the place to go down left and switch space with your pet. But yeah, you don't want to be hit again. Chai, my boy. Okay, there was a charge in there. That was scary. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely take that hit, then switch space. And now that kid can absolutely take care of that new yell without any problem. I was gonna say, though you don't want to be hit by a slam trap or something like that, so medicinal herb is gonna be absolutely what you're looking for. During that time, no signs of slowing down on Septic side. That sentence was perfect. Then you see that fire shield being used to lower the damage from that unicorn that does not want to play ball at all. And if that blind goes through, that could be dangerous, but it doesn't. We see another pickup. Septic Tank finally gets the 5 out of 8 chance, 62.5%, and he moves on. Probably wanted to check those style, but nothing bad happened, and they are now on floor 23. During that time, 16 on Chai. The difference in floor has not changed much since the last time, so at least Chai is keeping up. But the survivability is much higher. It's important to note here, like I said, speed is important here. We have a timer, and speed is the factor that will separate two runners dying on the same floor, so it's still important to be fast. But it is more important to be consistent and to survive, because the first factor that makes you win or lose is how high you can climb. So it doesn't matter that Septic could reach floor 39 in 5 minutes if Chai can reach 40, even if it takes an extra 30 minutes. But if they do die on the same floor, then that timer is going to be the splitting factor. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit scary. That fire shield, though, is going to be huge because those stealth enemies are wind, sorry, so the fire shield is going to help you there. So are those flying dogs, but you definitely don't want to fight with a zoo because they can paralyze you, and that's one of the scariest monsters in the game. That medicinal herb is great. Okay, we have a situation. Everything is fine. That zoo is just following them around. During that time, Chai is absolutely wrecking every monster he's fighting against. He's got the probably strongest physical and magic attacks in the game right now, so not too stressed about that. Decide not to get into the room to Maneuver territory. So if you're not knowledgeable about the game, if that's like your first time watching this, there's a monster called Maneva that can transform into items. You cannot see them every time in the tower, but there are 3 sets of floor where you can see them. I think it's a total of like 7 floors they can be on. You can learn them, obviously. And they need to find an item and they'll copy it on the other tile. But the copy is not a real copy. If you get in melee with it, you will actually transform and attack in the same turn. And they hit hard. So that's very scary. When you see 2 items side by side that are the same, and that floor could be a Maneuver floor, don't go there. Okay, no wake up there. Very happy about that. Floor 19, the last picket floor, although that's probably not very scary for Chai, but you still want to get out of there as quickly as you can. You never know what's going to happen or how it will happen. But that kid is absolutely wrecking everything. Like a wee dog. Nom 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 nom. Again? Nom 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 nom. And that's it. Didn't even take a hit, and even if he had, like, he wouldn't care. Sleep Ball using the Mandara right now on Septic side screen to turn the other enemy around. I like how their sleep animation is actually a petrification animation. Now the question is, how will they deal? Yeah, only I like that. Okay. Did I see? Okay. Yeah. He can now leave. There's the elevator, although that seems like it's a Maneva. Oh, it's an item room. Even better. Truth Glasses, Blaze Ball, great pickups. Oline is also a good pickup. Probably don't want to have that blue sand in their inventory right now. Yeah, you don't need a treasure loop. All the treasures are here. Mahal, very good. Blue sand is probably what he's looking to drop. yeah, blue sand. Thank you, Septic. I know he didn't see it. He would have dropped that thing so quickly. Floor 20, Viper Town. Won't you take me to Viper Town? On Chai's side, if he has an egg, which he does, he can use some shenanigans to juke those Vipers if he sees them. And I know Chai knows that strategy and likes it, so that's gonna be fun. If that ever happens. During that time, Septic going for floor 28. This is a match. Like you have the Fast and Furious. Okay, I didn't say that. You have the Fast Septic, and but in a much more stressful situation. Whereas you have Chai that is slower, but definitely like in control. You can feel Chai moving with like slowly, not slowly, but I mean like he shot the kid. I love that strategy. But like methodical and not caring about much of anything, because like yeah, he even threw his pet like it's fine, my pet will win. And you can see Septic like just dashing and stopping, like always on the lookout for the next problem. Whereas Chai's like nah, what problems? But Septic can still obviously win. He's got like an 8th floor advantage. And if any player can actually reach 40 without anything, it's definitely this guy. Watching the speedrun have helped me climb iron faster in casual play. Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, it is such a knowledge-based game. Obviously, if you want to speedrun the game, then you need to be able to apply that knowledge as quickly as you can. I like what I call those grinding gear moments where you can see like the player up for a second, you know they're thinking, right? And that's the thing I really like. Like most speedruns, and that's not a complaint on speedrun. I love every type of speedrun, but most speedruns will get you to learn and repeat and use muscle memory to like replay sections. You can sometimes not even think about what you're doing in your... Well, that's what muscle memory is. Like, it'll still happen. But you can never be really in that state in Azure. Oh, what a situation! Okay, yeah, you can't really fight that killer, even with an ice shield, because you can use an auto-crit thingy. Yeah, my LCD here is gonna be good. He's gonna take 1 damage. Yeah, sleep, okay, I like that. But what I was trying to say is that this is such a knowledge-based game that, and the fact it's random, obviously, makes it so that you need to think all the time about what's happening. And that's something that I really can appreciate. In a speedrun, is like seeing runners being challenged differently every time. Oh, that's bad. Okay, 0 turn sleep. Well, 1, but then they weren't melee. What are you gonna do, my friend? Sleep again and then walk backwards? That's scary. That's not enough! 46 with an ice shield! Oh, that thing, bro. Those killers, they hurt. But he's alive. The train is coming behind him, but that's a situation I like. Speaking of grinding gear moments. Exactly. That situation I like because most, like, the floor cannot generate infinite monster. I think the cap is 13, it might be 14, but you know, same difference. If you know most monsters are behind you, then they're not going to be coming from the front, or less will. He's going to use the D-aggro. You just let it go, then move the other way around. Those monsters that he left, though, might be happening... Okay, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Oh, that was a scary floor. Let's go, Septic. But it gave time to Chai, that was 8 floors away. Now he's just 7. That's not bad. Alright. Waiting. Floor 31, Beldo did not oversleep today. This is something we saw recently, actually. That's kind of crazy. Reliable old Beldo. There is a glitch or a situation that can happen where Beldo do not spawn. It is extremely rare, but we've seen it recently in the community. Like, it's that rare that it's a community thing. Oh, Septic Special on Chai's side getting punched in the back. 1 time, 2 times. He has survived, and he's going to get to the next floor. But that is a scary situation. Good job, Chai. I mean, good job. I mean, good, lucky Chai, I guess. Oh, my heart. Don't do that to me, Chai. I'm too whole. Oh, Medicinal Orb right away. I so respect that, because you don't want to walk into a trap and then die. Exit loop, yeah, okay. He's probably a little bit frizzled right now. Get that kid back up. Very well played. Chai at 15 health. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that is not a lot of health. Okay, speaking of situations, Septic is also being in one. Hey, yeah, okay, grinding gear. Yeah, you can hear them. You can hear the hamsters spinning in their wheel. What is he going for? Acid rain? Oh no. Okay, my hell. How is he tackling this? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, Dragon move diagonal. Perfect here. Very well played. Mile Seed used to, like, at the beginning of the community, obviously you wanted, like, those big bag, like, big bad fireballs and stuff, and acid rain stuff. Mile is the item that grew the most on me. It's one of my top items. I think the only item that beats it is, Flat Scroll. Flat Scroll is crazy, but Mile is definitely one of my favorite. If you can outrun, absolutely! And it's crazy good because, like, they need to take another hit, and they had elevation, which they won't have the second time. So Septic cannot take that next hit, even though the other one did last. Medicinal is not gonna heal enough. Oh, I don't think so. Yeah, that's exactly the damage it took. Even lost 1 health. Blaze? Okay, yeah, let's go! You need to get the hell out of here, my brother. This is getting scary because I know Chai's playstyle, and... Oh, that's the item room. He's gonna be happy about that. If you let this guy have an inch, he's taking a mile. So if Septic do not reach 40, I absolutely see Chai do it. I mean, bad thing can always happen. That would not mean Chai did play wrong, that you lose. This game can just take your life away when it feels like it. Right now, Septic is not necessarily thinking. He's skipping turns to heal HP. There's a combination of button that just skips turns super fast. And you sometimes do that on the elevator, so if an enemy comes in, you just leave. Very important things to do, so the kind of thing that I sometimes forget. I feel like this match is very exciting. Septic has to clear. So it's not a question of speed anymore, although it is. It still is. But the point is, it is a question of, if you don't clear, Chai will. So make sure you do the thing. It is floor, like, what, 36? That's still very freaking good. But Chai is not that far behind. I mean, he is 9 floor behind, but... Ulim is great. Spell Ball can be absolutely fantastic too. Binding, yep, absolutely good. I feel like we're... Oh, not even going to use 1 charge yet? Yeah, you're out of there. 37 on 35 minutes. For a tournament run, that's a very good time so far. But Septic Special to get on Chai's side. What is happening? It paralyzed, but nothing comes of it. Okay. That Medicinal Herbs is like a good idea now. What is that egg-shaped monster? Which one? Oh, the Mandara? That is, they are called Mandara, but they were supposed to be called Mandala, like the Mandela effect, like those crazy picture that looked like super psychedelic. That was on Septic side. What looks like an egg on floor 38? There's dragons or maximum? Maximum? Yeah, probably maximum. They do guard eggs, so that's a thing. Oh yeah, maximums. Yeah, the big clawed thingy. Yeah, that thing is the final monster of the tower, and that is the way the tower lets you know this is the end. It has stupid eye HP, stupid eye attack, stupid eye defense. That's it. it's just a ball stat. They're good as a pet, but not that great because they do have a debuff that only them and Golem have, which makes every attack cost 2 MP instead of 1, so they run out of gas very quickly. But as enemy, it doesn't matter because they won't survive to spend 80 MP anyway. They will, or you will die before that. So they're still good pet. Don't get me wrong. It's just you need to have a lot of fuel, and they're not like Kids and Dragons or Nuyel that they can easily recharge it. You need like Peter eggs. Floor 39 on Septic Tank's side. He is not 29, 39, 39. Last floor. This is the thing. Okay, Earth Shield switch to get Glaciered. That's not bad. Makes them run away. 16 damage is nothing he's scared of. Going back to Ice Shield in case he gets breathed by a dragon from afar. That's scarier than the walking back on their trail to get to that other room. Or is there even another room? Trying to find that final thing. That is scary though. They don't have anything, but they have not the aggro yet, so they can let it slip past. Floor 39 on Chai's side, we see Beldo coming. Beldo did not oversleep. He's getting pushed into that new room at least. Nothing here. And a real slow trap in action. That poison is going to put him in a really scary situation, but Antidote for some reason in their inventory. Let's freaking go. I think this is the first and only Antidote herb I've ever seen in a tournament match. And there's not going to be another one. But it was good. The reddish monster on Septic Tank. That's what I was talking about. It is a maximum. Floor 40 clear on Septic Tank side. This has just happened. My guys, that was crazy. Let me just let our runner know. GG Septic. Wow. Okay. 2 clears. I mean, Store Galore is not our toughest tournament setting, but it's still not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. We got to see that kid become a dragon on Chai's side, which is now a beast that cannot be stopped. It's got 92 attack, which is a lot. But yeah, definitely well played on Chai's side as well. 32F is nothing to scoff at. He was catching up very quickly, but that's the difference between fighting and not fighting. But you can see, you can feel, I know you guys can feel how more stressful running Commando is. Playing any percent, Septic is very used to that, but if I was to ask, I know he would still say he was absolutely scared out of his mind. Sub 40 clear, sick, yeah, absolutely good. Less than a minute of floor, that's very, very good. Absolutely GG to our runners. This is going to be it for today's match, which we have had Septic win the second match. We have had Wugga win the first match. Tomorrow is going to be the final, so obviously Septic against Wugga, and that's going to be starting at the same time this started, so that's, sorry, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, okay. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be tomorrow's start. But instead of a best of 1 match like we had today, this is going to be a best of 3. So we're going to get to see at least 2 matches against those 2 Titans. I want to say a huge thank you to Chai and Alymra that participated in the tournament. was fantastic to see you play. It was nice to have you on board. If people in chat wants to say a thank you to both those runners and still to Septic Tank and Wugga as well. I would also like to take time to say a big thank you to Speed Gaming for doing all this and the techs behind working really hard to make those events happen. And I want to say a giant thank you to you guys in chat. You guys are wonderful. You're beautiful. And you're the reason why these events are so fun to run. We do it for you guys, and it's just fantastic. 2 more road to finals. I want to see you there. Have fun, guys, and see you later.